from different places, we all have different names. No matter what life brings us, Jesus is the same. We're just your Methodist to the madness. Methodist to the madness. Hi,
I'm Beth.
I'm Tim.
I'm Jessica, and we're just your everyday
Methodist to the madness.
Well, it is another day, another dollar spent towards somebody, but not me. Don't know if I can say that. But welcome, everybody. It's a mad world, but we're okay because
We're Methodist.
why? That's
Yes.
right.
Yes, indeed. We have the ultimate capability because we look at everything through the eyes of Methodists.
I'm a Methodist. What's your superpower?
Da, 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 da.
I'm going to make that into a shirt. I'm probably just going to say that and then forget that I ever said that. So.
Right. Just like we said last week, we were going to make new merch, and I have already forgotten what the new merch was supposed to be.
Me too.
Wait.
I bet some of our loyal fans will remind us.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and listen.
That's just one of our superpowers is forgetfulness.
It really is.
I mean, we actually need to give a slight preface here. Before we started recording, we were talking about X-Men, and the reason is that we were talking about microwaves, and maybe if you stand near the microwave, it'll give you superpowers or something. So, yeah, maybe we all have superpowers because of microwaves.
Radioactivity excitement. That's
yes.
what this episode is going to be about today.
Yep.
We're really excited. More like ex-lady and men.
Ex-lady and
ladies and men. Anyways, how are you both doing? Tim, how has this past week been for you?
So it went from like being like, oh, cool, like super pleasant, like great update that I'm going to bring forth on the weekend. We're recording on Wednesday instead of Monday because of our schedules. And so now it's become like this really interesting mixed bag, kind of like if you were to get a bag of popcorn and instead of just having regular popcorn in there, you have like other spices in there and to make it special and interesting and so on. So that's kind of how it's been for me. So to start with, I went to the Peter and the Starcatchers on Sunday, and it was so exciting. And I saw Beth there, and I really loved that play because it featured a boy who became Peter Pan, because in that play he didn't know that he was Peter or Peter Pan. And so it was just a wonderful introduction to like the entire series. And I found out when I looked it up that it's actually a prequel to Peter Pan that was made later on. So there was a novel that was written in 2004. And I believe the original Peter Pan like play material and other resources was written before that. And if I'm wrong on this, then people, please email methodisttothemadness@gmail.com and let me know that I was, in fact, totally wrong and the sequels were written after the
We don't want to fact check anything. You guys do that for us, please, and thank you.
Yeah, we're here. We're the ones just giving you the information. You're in charge of fact checking anything we say.
Yeah. It's up to our fans to correct us. If we don't hear anything, we'll just assume we're right about everything always.
Yes. Yes. You are right, Beth.
Yes, as I do.
Okay, so
anyway, sorry, Jim.
No problem. So the play was just fantastic. The actors and actresses did a fantastic job. It was just such a compelling performance. And I was kind of pleased in a way with the fact that it wasn't like a full-on musical compared to some of the other plays that I've seen. Because, I just hadn't seen a play that was like a non-musical in a super long time. So it was nice to just see how like all the dialogue was interwoven into the story. So Yeah, it was really nice. Unfortunately, the play only went for one weekend. I think originally it was scheduled for two, but maybe something changed or whatever in the schedules of everybody or schedules of next plays or something like that. But it's really nice. And for anybody who doesn't know anything about Peter Pan, myself included, I feel super inspired to visit all these different like Peter Pan type like source media of some sort. So for anybody who's interested in Peter Pan, I would definitely recommend Peter and the Starcatchers. It's such an interesting story. So beyond that, I happened to see Beth at the end of the play, and she was with Deborah and Pam Strand. She doesn't want us to call her that anymore. She just wants to be referred to Pam because my mom's name is Pam, and she told us that she wanted to be called Pamela. So anyway, so we all got together after the play because apparently Beth and Deborah and Pam all went to lunch church with Pastor Jim. And so my mom and I joining them, I guess it was like dessert church for all of us or something, which is we went to Nadia Cakes, and it was very exciting. They have really good cakes over there. I didn't know about that place before I went there for dessert church with the church friends here. So
now
it was really fun.
We want to make sure we're saying it right. It's not deserting the church. It is dessert, as in
dessert.
Yeah, we're not deserting the church. It's dessert church.
Are you sure you're not talking about like desert church?
Or is it desert?
Because if you remove the S, then
Well,
hey.
If you desert something, now my head is upside down because
leave it in the desert.
Correct.
Yeah. It's cool. Spellings of words can change the way that the words are by just removing one letter. That's cool. So getting into the next part of my update. So I came upon this interesting concept. I can't remember. I think it was some random video or some random article. I don't know at this point because it's been a week. But basically, this idea of active leisure. So instead of just kind of like passively doing something on your phone or whatever, or in my case, like passively, more so going on like the internet or going on YouTube or something and just kind of wasting time, a way to like bring forth more like value in our lives, like regarding our time spent on things, is to like actively pursue things. So if it's like something you actually know for sure that you want to do, but you're not doing it, instead you're mindlessly doing something else, you can kind of like switch gears and actually do that thing that you really want to do or think is important. So I feel like that this is something I've always sort of known, but never really had a term for it. So it kind of reminds me of like other concepts like active listening, or you could like listen to music actively or passively. And if you read about it, they encourage you to do more active listening so that you can really get a full appreciation for the music. So that's a really interesting concept for me to discover. I'm still going on my book reading. I'm trying to read more books and stuff like that. I'm still reading the Book of Three and the Prydain Chronicles by Lloyd Alexander. And I want to start reading this book that one of my coworker friends recommended to me a while back called The Holy Longing. And I forgot the author's name, so I'll share that on the next episode. But that was a really nice book that I started reading, but stopped. I just kind of like, I don't know, I didn't give up on it, but I just took a really long break. And I guess that kind of happens to me. And so I guess the real big thing that happened to me this week is I had a 9-hour power outage yesterday. And it was in the evening, right at 9:00 at night. And I was on like a late dinner schedule yesterday. So I basically had to make dinner in the dark.
Oh, no.
With flashlights. And
oh my gosh.
I didn't have enough flashlights. luckily I have two phones, not just one, but two, because I didn't fully retire my second phone. It's my old phone, but I still kind of, I don't know, turn it on every once in a while. So I had two phone flashlights. I was like one of those like cool guys who are like running around with, no, there's no cool guys running around with phones in their
Running around
hands.
with two phone flashlights.
Yeah.
Like, see all those cool guys doing.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it was. So we only really had one big flashlight between my mom and I, and then she had her phone flashlight. So yeah, I kind of felt like I was like camping, but instead I was inside my apartment.
Probably fewer bugs.
Yeah, there's a lot fewer bugs, so that there's definitely that benefit.
That's where they got the word compartment.
Yes, there you go. It all starts with your electricity going out in your apartment. Yes, very, very interesting. But it was kind of a consciousness raiser because it made me realize how dependent upon electricity I really am, and just technology and so forth. And it kind of gave me a little higher appreciation for my Kindle and like physical books, because my Kindle has like a super long battery life. Like apparently it lasts like weeks on a single charge or something. And then like physical books will never run out of battery because they don't have a battery. So as long as you have a little bit of light, then you could read a book when you have no electricity. So it was a blessing in disguise kind of experience.
Yeah. That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's my update, I think.
Wonderful. I'll go ahead and share real quick. I'm going to interrupt Beth.
Awesome.
Sorry, I'm going next.
That's fine.
But yeah, I've got some fam bam in the house. Ew. We've got Texas and Louisiana joining California for the next week or so. And yeah, it's been fun introducing them to things that like Trader Joe's. Some of them have never been to Trader Joe's, which is crazy.
Really?
And I'm like, well, we got to get the dark chocolate peanut butter cups. We got to get the maple leaf cookies. We got to get the, all these things. So it's like, you got to try it. You got to try it.
That is so cool.
And yeah, I mean, it's just, it's so much fun just, being able to spend time with those that you don't normally get to see that often. And our nephew, his name is Atlas. He is 1.5 years and he is the cutest thing in the world, very active. And I'm really excited because tomorrow I'm excited for 3 reasons. One, and these are not the 3 rules of being a Methodist, which we'll get into.
Okay.
But these are 3 things that I'm very excited about. One, we get to rent a minivan for the next 4 days. And let me tell you, have you seen these minivans these days? Because they are so cool. So I get to drive a minivan for the next few days. And the second thing is we're driving to Anaheim because we're going to go to Disneyland with everyone.
Yes.
So it's so awesome. Atlas is at an age where it's like he is just gonna love it. Like he can walk, he can run.
They can run, they're fast.
Yeah. And so he's at the point where like he's able to like recognize faces, and he watches Mickey Mouse Clubhouse on channels. Is that the Disney Channel or YouTube?
Probably Disney Junior.
Okay.
Okay.
And so it's gonna be really cool to see his facial expressions with the characters. He might be terrified. He might be excited. We don't know. But either way, I'm looking forward to finding out which one.
Yeah.
But
excited.
Hopefully it's all excitement.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, there's a few other places we're going to visit down there. Some thrift shops, which I'm very excited about. but it's just so busy. And I took work off. I haven't taken work off for this much time. I took work off for 9 days.
Wow. Whoa, nice.
I know, it never happens, guys. And so all I can think of is I'm going to have over 9,000 emails when I get back.
Yeah.
I don't know if I set myself up for success or failure, but
1,000 emails for each day you'll be gone.
Right.
Yeah, because I get about 1,000 to 1,200 emails a day. So
9,000.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Maybe when I'm done with my vacation and I return to work on the 21st, I'll send a screenshot so you guys can see how many emails. But anyways, just, I'm so excited. It's fun to have like a really full house because it's just a glimpse of the chaos that we're hoping to have someday. So anyways, and what else? Honestly, that's like the biggest thing other than like us cleaning the chicken coop today and trimming the goat hooves, but nobody wants to hear that. So, I mean, that's like, that's it, guys. That's it for my books. But Beth, back to you.
Woohoo!
Thanks, Jessica. Well, like Tim said, I saw Peter and the Starcatcher on Sunday, and I went with Pam and Deborah, and I talked to
Pam
Tim
or Pamela?
Well, I talked to Tim and his mom Pamela, because I believe yes. During what I like to call halftime instead of intermission.
Halftime is a halftime show.
So I talked to Tim and his mom Pamela at halftime, and then we all went back to our seats, and then we were kind of like in the second row in like the middle bunches of seats, and then I look over to my right, and just like a couple seats back is Tim and his mom Pamela, and they were apparently there the whole time, but we didn't even notice them until we saw them in the hallway at halftime.
It was really interesting.
Like, we've been there the whole time.
Well, it probably didn't help that Tim and his mom Pamela were wearing camouflage. They were pretty much
They were.
Yeah, we don't stick out like sore thumbs at all. I can tell you that.
That was well, first, Tim's mom Pamela looked perfectly normal, but then there was another guy right next to her trying to be some kind of cool guy with phone flashlights. Oh, wait, that was Tim, and that was later.
Sir, you need to put your phone down.
I'm a cool guy.
I can't do that. It's part of my style, man.
I'm like, apologies, sir.
Here's your phone back. No problem.
Carry on, sir.
Anyway, what else? Craig and the boys and I watched a movie on Sunday. We were talking about the X-Men earlier, but it made me think of the movie that I had just watched on Sunday with my kids. It's a little film called Mystery Men. Have you heard of it or seen it?
I haven't heard of it or seen it.
Very small movie.
It's
a mystery why we have not seen it or heard of it.
Where did the men go? It is a mystery.
They never find out. It came out in 1999, and it's one of my favorite movies. It's like really silly and dumb, but hilarious. And basically, they're a group of superheroes who don't have cool superpowers. Like Ben Stiller's character plays Mr. Furious or something like that. And like his superpower is just that he gets angry. And his buddies are the shoveler. He hits people with a shovel. And then there's the Blue Raja who throws forks, but doesn't have an ounce of blue in his superhero uniform costume at all. And then My favorite is the guy who can turn invisible, but only if nobody's looking at him.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's my superpower for sure.
that's a really good superpower.
Yeah, that one I watched. You know how sometimes you watch a movie in your younger days and then you're like, that was the best movie ever. But then you're an adult and you watch it and you're like, why did I ever like this movie? This did not hold up. This movie, Mystery Men, it totally held up. I was laughing at stuff I didn't even get before when I watched it. And
those are the best kind of movies, honestly.
I decided that my reject superpower, I've given this a lot of thought and I've settled on this one. It's the best one that I can think of. My reject superhero power is I have X-ray vision, but only in my peripheral vision. That's my
Nice. You could work for TSA and say, I got it, and like side eye everybody.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And let's see, Craig went to Sacramento, somewhere near Sacramento. He left yesterday. He's still gone today. Jonah did text him asking him when he would be back, but he didn't write us back. We have he was probably at work and can't have his phone, but we do have a standing joke in this house because I don't know, we all have a dark sense of humor, but anytime anybody leaves, like if Craig leaves for a little while or if I leave for a little while, someone will come down and ask, where's Dad? And I'm like, oh, he's out getting milk, which means that he left forever.
He's on vacation.
It used to be, I used to say he's out getting cigarettes. But when you have like your young child under 10 saying, is Dad going out for cigarettes? I changed it to milk.
Yeah.
Less problematic for my
totally
right.
But anyway, so he might be back or he might, be having a hard time finding milk. He'll probably be back. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried.
Yeah.
Right. He will find that milk and he will bring it home.
As God is his witness. And that's all I have for my update.
It made me think of superheroes. My favorite superhero growing up was Blank Man. Do you guys remember him?
Yes.
Wait, no, I don't.
Wayans.
Wait.
I love that movie so much.
What?
It's a movie called Blank Man. You got to watch it, Tim.
Oh, wow. Is it kind of like a fill in the blank sentence or something?
Yes.
No.
It's like Mad Libs for your eyes. Like you just fill in the movie as you're watching it.
Really?
No.
Basically.
Oh.
Probably not. Oh, another thing I just thought of. Owen was telling me that he watched Anchorman with some of his friends this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
And I always quote, there's a line, like sometimes he'll like say, my mom and I are the same person. So like my kids will make fun of me. They'll make fun of my mom because we're the same person.
Oh, that's great. Not the making fun of you part,
no,
but that you and your mom are the same person.
But whenever they make fun of my mom, I always say, Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. Because that's a line from Anchorman. So when he watched it with his friends, I asked him if what he thought of that part, and he was like, I was like, my mom says that all the time. That's so I use references that nobody gets because it's me, but it'll pay off later.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
That's totally true. I only use one line pretty often, and it's when I like fumble on my words and I can't talk correctly, and I'll just say, I love lamp. And I can't say things properly.
Right.
So like the 80% of the time, 80% of the 60%, whatever he says in that line. Anyway.
Okay, I have to say something, and that's my favorite line from Anchorman is, "Where did you get those clothes? The toilet store?"
My friend, actually, Nicole, that was an inside joke between me and Nicole for a long time.
Yep.
That's funny.
So,
Yeah,
Nicole,
it's just
where'd you get those
remarkable.
clothes?
Like
The toilet store. I know.
Well,
Even the guy who can't think says something.
the most amazing humor. My gosh.
well, speaking of toilet store, we've got some church updates. So I'm going to go ahead and plop right in. So today, as in Sunday, was lunch church. And Beth, thanks for updating us that it was a success at IHOP. I hope you guys brought your passports. On June 15th, which is coming up, Pastor John's ordination is occurring. So feel free to go to www.calpacumc.org/AC 2024. Also known as www.calpacumc.org, because it's California Pac United Methodist Church. And you'll look for the live stream link. Then this next Sunday, it's Pastor John and Cordy's last day with us. And so in between services, there's going to be a farewell where there's probably going to be a bunch of tissues readily available for everyone. And if you don't have a chance to let them know how they've changed your life for better or maybe for worse, I don't know. Vocalize it with them in between services this coming Sunday. June 20th, the senior trip to the Marina del Rey, and it's been confirmed. Braxton confirmed it at the Youth Sunday that it is a good place to go. So
nice.
Feel free to sign up. On June 29th is the memorial service for Roy Snapkolis. That's Sharon's husband. That's at 11 a.m. And that one I will actually be attending because I'm doing the music with Dawn for that.
Awesome.
That concludes our church updates. So I'm going to go ahead and toss it off to Beth. Actually, I want to say one thing. I would like to thank Kathany Ankeny. I'm saying Kathany because that is her name now.
Yep. Pamela and Kathany.
For texting me today, even though I did not have your number saved. I greatly appreciate you texting me and wishing me a happy Women Veterans Day.
Oh, that is so nice.
Very nice of you. I have officially saved your phone number. So the next time you text me, I will not say, who dis?
Who dis?
Not a new phone, who dis?
Yeah. Ain't got your number, who dis? But anyways, I just wanted to say that. So thank you, Kathy.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
so cool. Thank you, Kathany.
Yes, Kathany. All right, Beth. Off to you, Beth.
Oh, thanks. Today's ministry moment is sponsored by VBS. Please help me with
yes.
VBS.
Woohoo.
If you haven't signed up to help me with VBS, I'm coming for you.
There's limited spots available for volunteering.
I will
You need
swim
to sign up
all of
sooner.
the oceans to find volunteers because the theme is scuba. Please see me for more information or call the church at 6619473103 or email me at children@pumchurch.com.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very
I
exciting.
think that was the best sound effect that we could have for scuba BBS.
Yeah.
We're gonna
It's
have
also-
really good sound effects this year.
Yeah. Oh
Totally.
wow.
Jessica and Tim.
That is
Yeah.
that is part of coming to VBS this year. You get to hear all sorts of cool sound effects.
And a cool guy with 2 flashlights on his phone.
Yeah, indeed.
So he can do his sea diving underwater with his lights. It's been mentioned. There's been rumors going around that Beth will be wearing a wetsuit for this event, and you're gonna have to just show up to find out.
Oh wow!
If I can get as many people, how many? If I can get 10 people to volunteer just from this podcast, I will wear a wetsuit for the whole VBS week, which is July 28th through 31st.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, everyone. Big. It is official. This is a legal binding document, verbal confirmation here. So we just need 10 of you. That's all.
Send the email to our lovely Gmail account and let us know you'll be there. And if we get 10, then Beth may just show up in a wetsuit on Scuba VBS week.
Yes. And your subject line for the volunteer can say, new volunteer, who dis? And we will know you're volunteering for VBS.
That's the secret password. Or wait, yes, it's a secret and it's a password. So it's the secret password. What? Oh, who dis? They just confused everyone. They'll have to go back a couple of minutes to make sure that they get this secret password.
And that is actually the password to all of our personal account. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about our sermon, because the new sermon series that we have, I'm really excited about it because there's a lot of great things that have currently started happening within the Methodist Church. So it's great to have more backstory for those that did the PUMC 101 for the church. You learned, briefly about this from Pastor Jim, but it was wonderful to have an entire sermon to set the foundation of what's to come for us in the next, I don't remember how many weeks we're doing this sermon series. Normally it's like
100.
Okay.
So for the next couple years, we're going to be talking about our Wesleyan heritage. So buckle up. We've got 100 weeks, 99 weeks to go. We're going to have a red balloon at every single service so we can say 99 red balloons. And
hey, at least it's not 101 Dalmatians.
I mean, that would have been really funny.
That actually would have been really fun.
Yes. But so our the start of all of this that we heard from Pastor Jim on Sunday was from our Wesleyan heritage. That is the name of our sermon series. And the very first sermon was called It All Started ... And we focused on Ephesians chapter 2, verses 4 through 10. And a lot of history, but there was one takeaway. I'm going to say it real quick because I know you both are probably thinking it. And that was learning that the Methodist societies had 3 simple rules. Do you guys know what they were?
Do good, do no harm. I forget.
Stay in love with God.
Stay in love with God.
So simple.
I know.
Yep.
That is so wonderful.
I'm tempted to tattoo that on my body somewhere.
Yes.
3 things like do no harm, do good, and stay in love with God. It's so simple.
Wow. That is so neat. And I really think that I think I can speak for all of us, but definitely all of my experiences at the United Methodist Church in Palmdale here have been that way. It's like we when we interact with each other, we're not intending to do harm. We make each other's days better, so we're doing good. And then speaking from my own personal experience, like cultivating more love for God, just stay in love with God, it's transforming my life. So yeah, I think the United Methodist Church does that so well. It exemplifies those 3 rules. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Yes.
You're a Methodist.
I'm a Methodist.
But anyway, yeah, so that was an awesome takeaway that I don't want to forget. But
yeah.
What did you? Anything else stand out for both of you regarding this past Sunday's service?
So something that really stood out to me immediately was the part in which John Wesley was he wasn't falling out of his faith, but he always felt like he needed to prove something to God, or do something in which he was doing something better so that he would have God's love. And so he had that situation for, I think Pastor Jim said like 12 years or something like that. But then after he had a falling out with a past romantic partner and he went back to Europe, his friend told him something that transformed his life, which was, I might as well read it because I'll probably just like foobar the entire quote and I won't even get the original message across properly. So his quote was, his name was Böhler. I might be pronouncing that incorrectly. So Böhler said, "Preach faith until you have it. Then because you have it, you will preach faith." And that really stood out to me.
That.
Yeah, that is so wonderful because like that really spells out like how I really found my faith at a certain point in my life, like just like with doubts and things and really not understanding how I could be a Christian and everything. Eventually I just like opened up the Bible and I started interacting with Christians, and I found out about Palmdale UMC, and then like it changed everything. And what's so interesting about that too is once you start preaching faith, I think it just kind of like gives you this interwoven understanding about God and like about leading a Christian life. So then that is when you find your faith, and then you tell people about it because you have it. It's just so beautiful. I can see why John Wesley's life was transformed after his friend told him that. It was like, oh, go ahead.
Faith it until you make it.
Faith it until you make it. Oh, that should be our new merchandise, Beth.
I got too excited when I thought of that. Sorry, guys.
That's so awesome.
Oh my gosh,
Sorry,
it's so neat. But yeah, so I think when we there's a saying I think in the United Methodist Church, it's open doors, open minds, and open hearts. And I might have the order mixed up, but that really is the case. I think as a Methodist, you open your heart to God, and then your mind is open, and then you open your doors to others to like transform their lives because you love your neighbor. So I just think it's so. Yes, I'm a Methodist.
Here you roar.
And my tongue was tied in the process of stating it multiple times, but God will give me the strength to move forward despite that. And I better stop speaking now before complete nonsense comes out of my mouth. So that was that was my takeaway, though. That quote was just really nice. But actually, last thing, and that's, I'm just really grateful that Pastor Jim is doing this series because I really wanted to learn more about the history of Methodism, and it's just really going to like grow my faith to like experience that entire picture. And then I feel like it will inspire me to like spend more time learning about Methodism as a whole, especially visiting like umc.org and just reading like the original writings from John Wesley. And I really like that Pastor Jim put in the bibliography for some of those historical books on John Wesley, because that's definitely something I might take up when all things are after the 99 weeks of the sermon series are done.
Yes, and we will provide popcorn occasionally for this.
Yes,
really.
Yeah,
but
because everybody knows that the best time to enjoy popcorn is at 9 a.m.
Yes.
Sunday, yeah.
On Sunday.
Yes, that's a lot better than 9 p.m. in the dark in your home. No,
But there's not a movie on? Oh, wait, there's not, because you don't have any power, Tim.
Yeah. I can't remember. I think I was going to say something more about popcorn, but please continue.
Yeah, we're not going to let you say anymore, Tim.
No more. Popcorn talk is over now, Tim.
Wait. I do remember what it was. People can email.
Nope, we're done, Tim.
Just kidding.
Game over. No. What were you going to say?
Game over. People can email us, and for the subject line, say popcorn request.
Yes. And then we'll say,
give them popcorn?
We'll just say
yes.
receipt, and then that'll be
receipt.
Yes, that'll be it.
Yeah. Yep.
Send us an email that says popcorn request, and we'll send you an invoice. Whether you get popcorn or not, like that's a mystery, but we'll still send you that invoice.
Yep,
wonderful.
We've had it before, folks. We've had it. We'll confirm it. Email us. We'll email you a confirmation.
Hey, Jessica,
received $10.
If someone emails you and they forgot their confirmation number, will you send them their confirmation number if they give the church a call or send another email?
No.
Yeah, we're actually using the same confirmation for all. And that is
the number.
It's also the number for the church office.
This episode is sponsored by popcorn that we may or may not give out. Right. Get yours today or not.
From somewhere.
Yours. Yeah. Anyway.
Anything else that you want to reflect on, Beth? I want you to be able to provide a deep dive for us.
I would love to find a deep dive for you. So first thing, I actually I listened to it at 1.5 speed on Monday when I thought we were going to record, just because I was going to be at a friend's house. And anyway, so I listened to it ahead of time just in case, and then we ended up not recording. But when I was listening to it in my car at 1.5 speed, when Pastor Jim was talking about John Wesley's girlfriend, Sophia, that he didn't marry, so she found somebody else, and she married a man named William Williamson. And I looked it up on Google just to confirm, because it wasn't in Pastor Jim's sermon notes. William Williamson. My theory is she made up that name. William Williamson does not exist. And she made that up just to break John Wesley's heart.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because, well, I guess maybe back then William Williamson does make sense, because that would mean that he is William, son of William. So he's probably William Williamson II, and his son is William's son.
People call him Willow. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard Will in the Bible. Will. Yeah, and that's where some people have musical artists that they follow. And there's Will Wayne, there's
Will Bow Wow.
Yeah, don't
All
forget.
of these stem from the Methodist
Methodism.
startup with John Wesley and his story. So, it's everything comes full circle. You just have to keep your eyes open.
You do
Yeah,
at all
yeah,
times.
absolutely. Yeah, instead of Billy, you could have Willie. You could have cousin Willie. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where they got the movie Free Willy. That was freeing him from
Billy Williamson.
He wasn't part of the Methodist church, so they freed him, and that's how he became Methodist.
Right.
So he wasn't free so much as he was born again.
Yes. Over. And then that's where remember that at the end of the movie?
Yes.
Oh my God, that was my favorite part. I was like, I just want to watch this so I can listen to the music at the end.
Hey, Christians talk about free will. Well, maybe we should be thinking about Free Willy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You got free will. We got Free Willy. What?
I feel like that's the intro to like a really good rap song or something.
It is.
It was by Will Bow Wow.
Yeah, Will Bow Wow featuring Will Wayne.
Will Wayne.
Yep. Anyway, so my second takeaway. I liked what Tim and Pastor Jim said about what John Wesley's friend told him, the faith it until you make it.
Yes.
At one of the churches I attended before Palmdale United Methodist Church, I still wasn't really sure where I landed on whether I believed in God or not. And so I was just kind of trying things out. And at one of the churches I attended, I went to an adult Bible study class, or no, it was adult Sunday school. And it was they had regular Sunday school and then adult Sunday school, going on during the services. So you could go to adult Sunday school and then go to the next church service or whatever. Anyway, so I took a Sunday school class, and the guy who was teaching it said that he can tell when people aren't really believers. And I was like,
what?
Oh no. So I just thought that it didn't help that he was glaring at me when he said it. He wasn't. I'm just kidding. But that always made me I didn't like the way that made me feel, because he didn't know my thoughts on God. And he probably just assumed that because I was there, I did believe in God. But I just also felt that was really discouraging to me. It felt like he didn't want to change me into being a believer. He just wanted to call the people out who weren't. And,
wow.
And maybe that's not what he meant at all, but that's how it felt to me. Like, we don't want you non-believers in this Sunday school class, but isn't that exactly where we want them? In the Sunday school class?
Yeah.
Maybe not that one. But
you don't want people to feel like they're not welcome either.
Right. And and there's so many people, I'm sure even pastors have times where they wrestle with God, and and so that just made me feel better that even our boy John Wesley wrestled with his thoughts about God too. So and instead of somebody making him feel bad about it, they were like, no, just look at it this way. And that's much more encouraging than I know the people who do not believe. Well, fake it till you make it. So
right. Yeah, I've had experiences in other churches before I found Palmdale UMC that it kind of felt like there was this us versus them kind of mentality.
Right.
You would have there would actually be a potential mention in a sermon, for example, of okay, well, if you haven't accepted Jesus, then you blah blah blah. Like, but we don't get any of that. Yeah. It's like it kind of makes you feel like an outsider, even though that maybe that's not their intention to make you feel like an outsider. I
wonder if, like, to churches and to people like that, it feels like they're trying to give you tough love. But
I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's what their intentions are.
Maybe that works for some people, but it doesn't work for me. And
neither does it for me.
I want to raise my kids to, like, think about religion, and both of them even right now are, you know, questioning, like, who they are in the world, and, you know, and they're trying to find their relationship with God. And the further I'm like, well, you're just not going to be a believer, then they're going to be like, all right, I guess I won't.
Right.
So, yeah. I don't think it's up to us or the church or, you know, leaders of the church to give ultimatums.
Right.
To people's faith. And
exactly. 100%.
You need to meet people where they're at and not be mad at them because they're not where you think they should be.
Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise, we can just create a show on Netflix called The Pastor's Ultimatum. And then
I told Pastor John that I was writing an article for, I can't remember. I was writing an article for Southern California Methodist pastors, and I wanted to know. Oh no, it was Southern California Methodist Pastors Digest that I was writing an article for, an expose, if you will.
Yeah.
I wanted to know his favorite color. So, but I think that we should totally make that fake digest and just have dumb stuff in there, like Pastor John's favorite color is blue, and Pastor Jim really likes board games. So, let's make that happen.
Yeah.
And let's make it Southern California Methodist pastors, but it's only going to be about the pastors in our church. John's almost gone.
And if anybody else thinks that they're also a pastor in Southern California, we're going to say, no, you're not.
No.
Because we've decided for you.
Yeah.
We've given you the ultimatum.
Yes. Pastors and churches should not do that. But people who have a church podcast, absolutely. What's stopping us?
Yeah. Nothing's stopping us.
Nope. Don't stop me now. Yeah.
Oh my
anyway, we discussed that.
Yeah, I wanted to segue a little bit off of what you were saying, Beth, and like kind of leading from what I was saying earlier, versus like you have the us versus them kind of like situation, and then you have like the exact opposite that you have in Palmdale UMC.
Them versus us.
Yeah, them versus us.
That's the opposite.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, that is the opposite. Wait, what am I even talking about? Maybe I need to go back to geometry class or something.
Because you were on assignment for algebra.
Right. That's actually what I really was on assignment for, algebra and geometry review. So I could be prepared for this moment. Well, it looks like I might have to go back to geometry class so that I can study up for. No. But so not the opposite, but something related to it, I guess, is the "You Are Welcome Here." Like whole like 3 paragraphs, and I just feel so much fondness and warmth whenever I read that. And like that was definitely one of the most inviting things that I have ever read from a church, and definitely one of the reasons why I visited the Palmdale United Methodist Church in the first place. I think because my faith was really kind of like starting out. So really, Palmdale UMC met me where I was, and now like I just like feel like I have a life that is enriched by faith, and I never would have imagined that before I came to this church. So so yeah, it's just really, really interesting. And yeah,
United Methodist Church.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You become a Methodist. You don't become a Methodist, though.
Methodist becomes you.
Yes. Actually, in what John Wesley's intention was not to replace the people's home church, but be there as somebody to enrich their faith and make for a Christ-centered life, more so than just going to church on Sunday. So I thought that was really cool, and I think the Methodist spirit really captures that. Like it not trying to push you out of wherever you're at, but like trying to
leave your church, come to this one. Just kidding.
And another thing is, since I have a Bible study with some of my coworker friends. There's 2 Catholics in my Bible study, and because of like just the nature of our church and everything like that, I'm just happy to have like conversations with them, even though like our faiths differ a little bit. It's just really cool to like have like a pleasant conversation. And then I guess just going like full circle into like full on like talking about Methodism here, the John Wesley coined the term "agree to disagree." So I might disagree with them on certain things, and it's okay. You know, we're just talking about Christ. We're all one like family in Christ. It's just it's really good.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I think this is a great place for us to start sharing some prayer requests.
Yeah.
So, Beth, is there anything that you'd like us to pray for? Besides Craig finding the milk?
I'll pray for that.
Please pray that Craig comes home with or without milk. I'm sure he will. And my friend Carrie, she is going through kind of a hard time. She lives in Little Rock, and she has lived next door to her in-laws for years and years and years. Yeah. And her father-in-law passed away, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago at 97 and a half years old. And her mother-in-law, who she's been caring for years since they're next door neighbors, just passed away a week or 2 ago, and she was 98 and a half years old. And her mother-in-law was living with, it was her mother-in-law's house, but her grandniece and her husband moved in, so they're still next door. But she's really sad that she lost her mother-in-law and her friend. And, especially since, you know, she was such a regular part of her life, not somebody that she would see every so often, but she would see her every day and go help her every day. So she's struggling with that. And also she just had a tooth removed. Like it was abscess.
Abscess.
Yeah. I was like,
it was obsessed with infection.
An abscess is actually
was obsessed with her tooth. So it had to be removed. And so she's having some complications from that. Not complications, I would say discomfort. But yeah. So yes. Tim or Jessica?
Yeah, Tim? Definitely prayers for her, Beth.
Thank you.
So I think this is one of the few times where I actually don't really I can't think of a prayer request for myself.
Tim is perfect.
Yeah, so a prayer request. A prayer.
Tim would like to request a third phone so he could have 3 phone flashlights.
Yeah.
Exactly. My prayer is to find a way to hold the third phone so that it's as cool as holding the 2 phones. No, I actually do have something, and that's I would like a prayer for anyone that needs a friend right now, who is feeling isolated, who is feeling lost in their faith, who is feeling disconnected from a family member that they used to have a strong correspondence with. Just a prayer for warmth for all of those people that are having those feelings of isolation or disconnection or feeling lost. And I think I can probably put myself in there regarding those types of feelings.
Oh, thanks for sharing, Tim. That was really nice of you, and appreciate you opening up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
How
you.
about you, Jessica?
Oh my gosh, I have so many prayer requests. It's not even funny.
Really?
Not really, but
Why did I laugh then?
I need to learn how to do a laugh like that.
Just a lot of Jim Carrey movies.
Nailed it.
If your partner can say, I feel like I'm sitting next to Jim Carrey, then you know you have succeeded in life. So I would like to lift up prayers for our family traveling. I really want us to have safe travels. And then I also just want to pray for my body to prepare itself. We're going to try again in July. And Amber ordered some weird oyster pills from Ireland that our neighbor apparently used to get pregnant when she was 37, because that's how old I am. And she ended up getting pregnant pretty quickly. And so for this next month, I'll be basically becoming an oyster shell, and
you're going to turn into a pearl.
You're going to have to call me Pearl from now on.
Yeah. That's awesome. I was going to say, Jessica can make a really good oyster, but she could even make a better pearl. That's really neat.
Anthony, Pamela, and Pearl.
Yeah. I just pray that I can, get my body prepared, and really, guys, it's come on, we just really just want a family,
I know.
Yeah.
And so it's all in God's timing. And there's only so much we can do. There's only so much random pills from Ireland we can purchase. And the rest of it is up to God when he thinks that we're ready. And side note, because we had family come by, we got one of the rooms set up with another bed so that they could sleep in there.
The bunny room?
The bunny room. And
really,
we condensed part of where the bunny's space is, but we have it looking more like a baby room, which is really exciting to think about. It has a bookshelf with little baby books on it, because we thought our nephew would like that. And so it really kind of got us in the mood of oh yeah, we really, really could go for some twins or triplets now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, because if you don't know, that is our dream would be having twins. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And their names would be Martha and Mary. No, I'm just kidding. That's anyways, that's my prayer request. Safety.
Do no harm.
Love God all the time.
Pray for family.
And
stay in love with God.
Yeah, stay in love with God.
We said love God and also stay in love with God.
So, yeah. No, I really think that covers it for sure. Because when you love God, you're in love with God. I think it's really good.
And
really
you just,
nice.
I love
By
pizza,
default,
but I'm not in love with pizza. Am I? I probably am. Never mind. Yeah, you're right, Tim.
it is.
It's the same.
But yeah, definitely prayers for you on all of that, Jessica.
Yes, Jessica.
Thank you so much, Timothy.
And
Much
I hope you have the best time with
We
your
will.
family that's here.
We totally will. Like I said, minivan, Disneyland. I mean, like, I don't even know what else to add to that equation.
Yeah. And actually that'll be like a really good way to connect with God too, because one of Pastor Jim's favorite places to connect with God is Disneyland.
In a minivan.
True.
In a minivan. Disneyland and minivan.
In a minivan.
In a Disney van.
Disney van, Disneyland.
Yeah.
Disney van. Mini Disney van.
Not Disney. Not that knee, but Disney.
Who dis?
Goodness.
Who
Me.
dis? Disney. Anyway. All right. Well, it's been a blast. Feel like we've learned a lot about the start of the Methodist Church and John Wesley's journey.
Yeah.
Excited to discuss more in our next episode.
This is so exciting.
It's so
Methodism.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are the three parts of the quadrilateral.
Yes.
Soon to be four if we have a guest ever again.
Yeah, we should start having guests again. Hey, mad you Methodists.
Different places, we all have different names. No matter what life brings us, Jesus is the same. We're just your Methodist to the madness. Methodist to the madness.